13. For the choir director. A Psalm of David. Oh Lord, how long will you forget me? Forever? How long will you look the other way? How long must I struggle with anguish in my soul, with sorrow in my heart every day? How long will my enemy have the upper hand? Turn and answer me, O Lord my God. Restore the sparkle to my eyes, or I will die. Don't let my enemies gloat, saying, we have defeated him. Don't let them rejoice at my downfall. But I trust in your unfailing love. I will rejoice because you have rescued me. I will sing to the Lord because he is good to me. 14.
Did it went to 14? This was Psalms chapter 13. I gotta use the bathroom again. Oh man, hold on for a second. So, Psalms chapter 13, verse 1-5. David frequently lamentated that God was slow to act on his behalf, and we often feel that way too. The same impatience and doubt that God cares. That does God care? Evil and suffering seem to go unchecked, and we wonder when God will restrain them. But David affirmed that he would continue to trust God no matter how long he had to wait for God's justice to be realized. And when you feel as though your prayers are not being answered, remember David's steadfast faith in God's unfailing love. In Psalms chapter 13, verse 1-2, sometimes all we need to do is talk over a problem with a friend that will listen, someone that cares, somebody that's like listening to you. People that are exploiting or trying to like keep you from your pay, it's really not your friend. It's really people that only care about their selfish gains of spending money on themselves, on their like horses, their expensive houses, buying clothes like that's gonna go with them when they die. They're getting older and older, and they're not putting their salvation in Christ, but they're putting their trust in money, taking advantage of the workers that are working for them, which is wrong. And if you're gonna sit there and take up for something like that, then you need to go get some psychological help. Sometimes all we need to do is talk over a problem with a friend to help put it in perspective. In the Psalms, the phrase "how long" occurs 4 times, first 2 verses, indicating the depth of David's distress. He felt forgotten, and as a result, David expressed his anxiety and sorrow to God and found strength. By the end of his prayer, he was able to profess to him. The hope and trust in God through prayer. we can appear as our feelings when we're going through something. Chalk our struggles out with a true friend that really will listen. With God, He helps us regain the right perspective, and this gives us peace. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 17, 19. And 13, Psalms chapter 13, verse 5. But I trust in your unfailing love. Unfailing love means Christ will love you no matter what you do. If you fall in sin, you can always go to Christ. Like the person in Matthew chapter something, the boy was lost, and then he went back. And then the father was like, yeah, you was once lost and now you're found again. Psalm chapter 13, verse 5, 6. David was faithful to God and trusted wholeheartedly in Him, but he felt the pressure of his problems as much as anyone. Instead of giving up or giving on life, and however, David held on to his faith. In times of despair, it is much harder to hold on than to give up. But if you give up on God, you give into despair. Keep saying yes to God. Ask Him to strengthen your grip on whatever you're going through, on His promises. So when you have troubles and complaints in the book of Psalms, for example, we can relate to the Psalms because they express our feelings. We all face troubles in life, as the Psalms writers did thousands of years ago. And we often respond as they did in Psalms chapter 3. David told God how he felt about the odds against him. But within 3 verses, the king realized that God's presence and care made the odds meaningless. And this experience is repeated in many of the Psalms. Usually the hope and confidence in God outweigh the fear and the suffering. Sometimes they do not. Still, the Psalms writers consistently poured out their thoughts and emotions to God. Either way, one seemed to be answering their prayers. They told him so because they recognized the difference between themselves and God. They were free to be a human being and to be honest with their Creator. That is why so many of the dark Psalms and the end in the light. So Psalms writers started by expressing their feelings and ended up remembering to whom they were speaking. Although we have much in common with these writers, we may differ in 2 ways. We might not tell God what we are really thinking and feeling, and therefore we also might not recognize even the divinity who is listening to our prayers. Notice this pattern as you read the Psalms and put the writer's insights to the test. You may well find that your awareness, appreciation of God will grow as you are honest with Him. The selected Psalms and phrases this theme are in Psalms 3, 6, 13, Psalms chapter 3, Psalms chapter 6, and Psalms chapter 13, and Psalms chapter 31, and Psalms 37, and Psalms 64, and Psalms chapter 142, and Psalms chapter 102, and Psalms chapter 121.